A Daytona 500 champion is stepping back into a completely different battlefield. Not the Cup Series, not the spotlight he built his name in, but the NASCAR Truck Series at Bristol. And here's the twist: he might actually be one of the biggest threats in the entire field. Ricky Stenhouse Jr is officially returning to the Truck Series this Friday night at Bristol Motor Speedway. He'll be driving the number 45 truck for Motorsports. This will be his third Truck Series start ever and his third start this season. So far, he's been quietly solid. A 6th place finish at Daytona, followed by a 9th place run at Atlanta. Now he heads to Bristol, one of the most physically demanding short tracks in NASCAR. And suddenly, this part-time entry just became must-watch. This isn't just a random appearance. Stenhouse is a veteran with nearly 500 Cup Series starts, and he's built his reputation on aggressive, high-risk racing, especially on super speedways. But this move, this is different. Because Bristol isn't about drafting, it's about control, patience, and survival. And more importantly, this reflects a bigger trend happening across NASCAR right now. Cup drivers are showing up in the Truck Series more often, not full-time, but strategically. Motorsports is leaning directly into that strategy. They're rotating talent through the same truck, mixing young prospects with proven Cup veterans like Stenhouse and Ross Chastain. That creates opportunity, but it also creates pressure inside the garage, because now full-time truck drivers aren't just racing each other. They're racing guys with years of top-level experience. This is where things get really interesting. On paper, Stenhouse doesn't look like the obvious favorite. Bristol hasn't been his most dominant track historically. His average finish sits just outside the elite tier, but stats don't tell the full story here. What matters is race style. Bristol rewards drivers who are willing to push the edge, manage chaos, and stay aggressive in tight traffic. That's exactly where Stenhouse thrives. Now layer and experience. Most of this truck field doesn't have nearly the same level of racecraft in high-pressure situations. Stenhouse does. And in a short track environment where things can unravel fast, that becomes a massive advantage. But there's also risk on both sides. He's stepping into a part-time ride with limited seat time. One mistake, one misread in traffic, and the night can fall apart quickly. For the rest of the field, they're dealing with a driver who has nothing to lose. He's not chasing points. He's not protecting a playoff position. He can race aggressively, take chances, and go all in for a win. And that's dangerous, because when a veteran with that mindset enters a short track race, he becomes unpredictable. From a team perspective, Motorsports is making a calculated move. They're not just filling seats, they're injecting experience into their lineup. And if it pays off with a win at a high-profile track like Bristol, that elevates the entire organization instantly. But if it doesn't, you risk disrupting the rhythm of your full-time drivers and creating internal inconsistency. Fans are going to be split on this. Some will love it, a Daytona 500 winner dropping into the Truck Series, that's added excitement, that's star power. But others won't see it that way. They'll argue this takes opportunities away from full-time truck drivers, guys trying to build careers and fight for championships. And in the media, expect one key question to dominate. Is this good for competition, or does it blur the line between development and disruption? Let's break this forward. Stenhouse adapts quickly, controls the race, and puts himself in position late. He uses experience to outmaneuver the field and steals a win at Bristol. That instantly validates Motorsports' strategy, and it sends a message across the garage. The lack of truck seat time shows. He gets caught in traffic, makes a mistake, or gets pulled into someone else's mess, and suddenly the night ends early with more questions than answers. So now it comes down to this. Is Ricky Stenhouse Jr about to shake up the Truck Series, or is this just another part-time experiment that won't hold up under pressure? And more importantly, should Cup veterans even be stepping into these races in the first place? Drop your take below. And if you want real breakdowns that go beyond the headlines, make sure you're subscribed to SPORTSWIRE USA, because in NASCAR, sometimes the biggest impact doesn't come from full-time drivers. It comes from the ones who show up with nothing to lose.